Hey guys, Dr. Morse, injury Expertz. So here's an update on Omarion Hampton, the stud rookie running back, second one drafted in the class this year, had a fantastic start to the season, especially after Najee Harris went down with the Achilles tear. Unfortunately, he suffered a left ankle injury that immediately put him on IR. It was a combination of Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal taking over ever since. But Hassan Haskins suffered a hamstring strain recently, and he is ruled out for tonight's game. Kamani Vidal has been doing pretty well ever since and will likely take over tonight. The question for Omarion Hampton is, what is he dealing with and when is he likely to return? Now, he was placed on IR, which means that he's out a minimum of 4 games. So that has to be week 8 and that has to be week 9. So that he'd be eligible to return in week 10. But they also have a bye coming up. I believe it's in week 12. So there's a possibility he returns in week 13. So here's how this is likely going to play out. If this indeed is a high ankle sprain, which is this, if it was mild, they wouldn't have put him on IR. So it's likely to be moderate or a complicated one. Now, what do I mean by that? If it's a moderate one, that is likely basically what happened to Tajay Spears in the preseason, and they take closer to 6 weeks than 4 weeks. If it's more complicated than that, he may have had a small fracture, which is at the fibular down here, which can happen. Usually these are on the milder side. These are what we call Weber A's, and these are traditionally non-surgical. Now, if he had surgery, which we have not heard anything, which would be a tightrope, which eventually means you basically put 2 big rods through here and sometimes a plate here if there's a fracture. Usually they take closer to 6 to 8 weeks as opposed to 4. So there is a possibility they hold him out through week 13 or maybe even week 14. Not ideal, but unfortunately, this is just the nature of this type of injury. I don't expect him. I haven't heard any updates just saying he's going to be closer to return immediately when he's eligible in week 10, we'll say. So, and I would not be surprised if they held him out through the bye and held on into week 13 at the earliest. So, there's not a lot of positive comments on him right now. People asking, hey, should I buy low for him? You're going to probably have to hold him for at least 2, if not another month before you can use him, which is basically when the fantasy playoffs start. So you can do it, and he may be okay. He may not be okay. It just depends on specifics, and unfortunately, they never released anything. If it is indeed a high ankle, which was consistently the timeline showing, he's not going to be amazing the rest of the season. He'll be on the field and making points, but he's not going to look like he did pre-injury. So you have to take that into consideration as well. So a bunch of moving parts, not the most clearest update, but unfortunately we don't have a whole lot to go on. That's my initial take on Omarion Hampton heading into week 8 and realistically potentially returning in week 10, probably closer to week 13.